3. You're in.
Sorry? Say again?
We're going. It's rolling.
Okay. Cool. Right, so myself and Mr. Balgan Strongdrake are joined by Dark Suffix and Schismatic, and we're going to go through the Limbo cards before they're sent off to print. There's 2 or 3 in here I've purposely left with some. There's a big F in the name, which means fix me. So we'll encounter those. And for those here in the Discord channel, we've also left open an empty card so that you guys can participate and make up your own skills for one card to be added to the list. We'll be in the 1.5 rules discussion channel for discussion of, well, because obviously we're discussing the rules. So here's Rodrigo. I'm going to assume you know something about the game in the sense of it's a skirmish battle game. So you expect to see stats such as attack stats and defense stats, and shield or armor stats, movement, and so forth. Mostly what we're going to be discussing, though, is the skills themselves, or the abilities as they are on the card, to make sure that they are worded correctly and easy to read and understandable. So feel free to ask questions at any point if something doesn't make any sense. I'll be reading them out, and the Law Master Balgan will be popping in time to time to let me know
On
when
that
I've
note, Rodrigo's fairly straightforward. He's a knight on a horse with a lance.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a bit more to him than that if you've looked at his story.
Well, we don't have time for
we don't,
story
I know, but there's a little bit more to him than that.
Yeah, that's right. And we hope people will go through the rule book and the law book and stuff like that. Okay, so brilliant charge. Mostly for me, from my end of things, I'm going to be doing spell checking and error and grammar checking and rules checking. So when Rodrigo declares an attack after charging, he gains +1 accuracy or +1 advantage for every 2 spaces moved this activation. Now, to me, that makes it clear that the accuracy or advantage is the 2 choices for every 2 spaces.
Yes. It's not
+1 accuracy.
It's not. It's obvious that, well, to me, that it's not like
you
must have 3 accuracy or 3 advantage. It's like, no, you can have 2 accuracy, 1 advantage, or however you want to mix it, depending on how far he goes.
Yeah, that's right. One way someone might read it is the left side of the or statement is +1 accuracy, and the right side is +1 for every 2 spaces.
They may read the word every to include all the spaces and the one choice instead of every 2 spaces as a separate thing. Yeah.
So we're aware of that, but we don't know how to word it otherwise. So if anyone says something, it's like, okay. Peerless Champion, while attacking or defending, Rodrigo may increase or decrease the result of 1 die by 1 before resolving rerolls or critical effects. So because of that before and the ability to increase or decrease, so he can up a 4 into a 5, which triggers a critical.
Yep.
Or in the case where certain skills trigger on blanks, or he might decrease a 1 to a 0.
Up a 0 to a 1, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. If the blank is good for your opponent, bumping it up to a 1.
Here's the thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
While attacking or defending, so he can manipulate enemy dice when they're attacking him as well to change a 5 down to a 4.
That's right. I think most of the time that's going to happen because there's only a few cases where blank exists.
Yeah.
Right. Stampede, charge attack. While attacking, Rodrigo can move through smaller characters. When you move through a smaller character, that character takes 1 damage. If you're really quite clever, you'll line up your Rodrigo in a straight line, so he can just charge through a whole bunch of characters. Now, the only thing I have to consider here is smaller here, right?
Yeah.
So Rodrigo's not listed as a medium-sized character, and there is no reference to small,
I mean, his
medium, and
base
large.
is 2x2, I think.
Yes, that's right. So in the rulebook, I do have now a set of text which says small, medium, large, and whether the keyword huge counts in that sense. So there's that. Okay, straightforward. That's the damage side. Now, we didn't do any differences between Rodrigo on the front side and
He
the
is a
back side of
peerless
the card.
champion, after all.
Yeah, that's right. So he doesn't become reduced in abilities. He maintains his abilities. Although he does have a reduction in defense by 1 point, and his punch skill is down by 1 as well. All right. Godfrey, born leader command. Commanded character may then perform any action. This is different from normal command, which allows you to do basic actions.
Reminder. No, normal
Yeah.
command is just focus or advantage, I think.
I thought it was whatever they've got in their skill tokens in the bottom left corner.
But we need to remember when looking at Veberud's card that normal command doesn't function the way we thought it did when we wrote that card, so we'll have to amend it.
Oh, okay.
Because Veberud's command card says command instead of perform a single action.
So just looking up the digital rulebook. Commander bonus. Choose another character of lower rank and within movement range, gain boost token or trigger one of these skill icons of that unit. Yep,
Well,
so
that's much better than... Yeah, so we definitely need to change it for Veberud's card then to be perform a single action.
Yeah. So gain a boost token or trigger your skill icons of that
Possibly
card.
for Vekat as well with the command undead.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. I'll bring up a notebook.
So we'll look, I'll remember that in case we have to later on, in case it's not been jotted down. But so Godfrey also has follow by example. While another friendly character is melee attacking a character Godfrey threatens, that character gains accuracy 1 or accuracy 2 if the friendly character is also adjacent to Godfrey.
I'm just quickly writing this down.
Sure.
Who was it again? Command, the two characters that we need to check on?
Veberud and Vekat's divinity cards. We'll look at them at some point soon. In the next few days or something.
Yep, gotcha. Okay, cool. So this particular command is not just the standard, but any action. So that also includes attack, abilities on the card, etc., etc.
Yes, so, some of the demons have something similar to that.
Yeah.
But they do it to enemies.
Follow my example?
While I just read that out.
Oh, you did? Sorry, I was typing notes. So I thought you were commenting on something.
So, he's helping them, but they're also inspired to fight like him and be more heroic and be better.
Yeah. Great Cleave, after Godfrey's attack resolves, choose a character adjacent to the defender that you threaten, attack that character. Godfrey gains disadvantage during his attack. So he's reduced in his abilities when he makes this attack because Great Cleave takes extra time.
Yeah, but it's a whole extra attack that he wouldn't normally get.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's not reducing his effectiveness in the first attack either.
No, that's right.
And Godfrey may be the first instance of the new Defiant keyword.
That's right. We've got Defiant added to the keywords here. So for everyone who has played before, we have the damage side of the card here and the fully health side of the card. And when your health is reduced to 0 on this side, you flip the card over. And when the health is on this side is reduced, that's when you die. Well, the Defiant keyword allows you to not die until the very last moment of that. So you'll stay on this side of your card even when damaged at 4 or more until the end of the entire round. And then at the end of the round, you'll swap over, and that's what Defiant does there. So, and the same for this side of the card. No, on this side of the card, he doesn't have Defiant. He doesn't. He doesn't stay to the end of the round. So he doesn't
have the Betrogard thing of staying on right till the end of the round after he's been killed, and just not quite dead yet.
Not quite dead yet. Yeah. So
can
he
the
stays
word
right at the end of the round on this side.
We have messages.
We have messages. Oh, I only see live in general comment.
Show chat from Schismatic. Found the chat. Can the word gains be shifted to the next line in order to not go over Aslan on the bottom right? I see it in Great Cleave.
Do we have a separate chat for this?
We have a separate chat for this chat channel. Yes. There's a little secret button in the top right hand corner of the screen that appears. Looks like a speech bubble. It says show chat.
Rightio. There you go. Okay, cool.
So yes, Schismatic. We probably can shift that. It'll just take a little bit of extra work. We've done it with a few other ability descriptions where things were not quite lining up very well.
Oh, I see what you're talking about now. Yeah. Yeah. So if I was to quickly have a look at where that structure is and say, what happened? Why is the margin to PX? That was just that one, so I need to do it for all skill text. I think something to do with my alignment system was actually breaking that too. So yeah, here's, well, no, you see the whole text is moving over and it's not cutting off that like I expected to. So yeah, I can do it, but it'll have to be done later on.
Probably
but
done off camera, but it can be done, yes. And if it's doing that on the back side, it's probably doing that on the front side of the card as well.
Yeah.
Because his abilities don't seem to have changed much between sides.
Yep. Ability box. Good catch. All right, thank you very much. This is exactly why we're having this.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. All right, next one. Elia. While Elia is threatened by a single enemy, she gains accuracy 3 and evasive 3. Now, the FF on this one, I think, is because it's a bit too much, and I wanted to discuss whether we should drop.
Do you want to turn them down to 2s?
Accuracy. Well, yeah, I could turn them both down to 2s, but then she's got like 0.5 of a point left over for something else. So the thought was whether we could increase something else. Is she? Do you think she's a duelist in just weapons, or do you maybe I can increase her punch score to counteract that slight reduction, or
hold on,
or one of the other skills we could, in theory.
She already has the evade token skill.
Yep.
That was one of my first things. I was like, she can get evasive. She doesn't have any base evasive.
Yep.
Or accuracy, because she gets those for duelist.
Yep.
She's got swirling riposte as well, which is quite potent in combination with duelist, because all she needs to do is move so that no other, she does like move so that she's only threatened by one. It's like 2 enemies against her.
Mm-hmm.
Shift a space. Oh look, now she's only fighting 1, and suddenly she gets accuracy 3 and evasive 3 again. It's.
Yeah. Yeah, the swirling riposte is to put her in a position so that she's a duelist instead of being threatened.
So, Commander of the Rose.
Mm-hmm.
It's free to command one, as in costs no fate crystals at all, but costs 2 if she wants to command all of them, or does it cost 1 if she only wants to command one?
There's no one cost.
There's no one there, so it appears to be free.
It's free for the first command,
Okay.
Commanding a Rose character regardless of rank, and you can spend 2 for each adjacent Rose character regardless of rank instead.
So she's already got some pretty heavily discounted abilities in there.
So it's a 0 to command one, or a 2 to command the rest of them.
Yeah. I mean, Duelist is constant. Commander of the Rose is... Empty Arrow, is that swift or a normal action?
So it doesn't cost an action.
Okay, so that's swift. Got it.
Yeah.
I'm
not really happy with the symbol used in that. To me, if you're using a similar symbol, it should be like a similar thing. There's an action cost involved.
I see. Whoa. Okay. If you want to reduce Duelist down to 2s, then the issue with Swirling Riposte is that it's after the attack against her is resolved, right?
Yeah.
Which means she doesn't get to shift and gain evasive free until after that attack has been resolved against her.
Correct.
If she could shift before the enemy attack, but then we'd have to write in, like, you know, if she's still in reach, she still gets attacked and stuff. So,
that's the point of the cost involved. So she gets attacked, so she can trigger Swirling Riposte and get her bonus.
No, I get the attack out of it. It's the fact that she could be vulnerable if surrounded, and then shifts out to a more. So if she's very highly focused on a single target, maybe doesn't pay as much attention to her surroundings. Now that's
the point is, it's the cost reduction. Like, because there's a requirement on these, while she's threatened by only a single enemy, so she has to be in a 1-to-1 combat only to trigger that, and that's why there's a. It's how often is that going to happen? How often are you going to be in a situation? And if you are the enemy and you know your opponent's got Elliot on the board, you're going to make sure she never has a duelist bonus.
I imagine you would flank her with a lot of troopers to prevent her being ganged up on by enemies.
Yeah.
And of course those troops are going to go down.
But you might just make sure that you've got the other 3 spaces covered by the other Rose characters.
Oh, and you have Rose Thorns there to keep healing the troopers around her to keep her safe.
Yeah. So you put the Rose Thorns around Emily.
And then Godfrey could command her.
Yeah. Crazy. No, the rest of it, that makes sense. The only question really is this square bracketed 2 to be, if I put it up inside the symbol, it's going to suggest it's a cost per.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, so it's not going to be straightforward or obvious. But
so it's all about balancing Duelist.
Yeah. Right, cool.
I mean, it's okay, hang on. Go back up a moment.
Okay.
Because without Duelist, without the evasive free, her defense and armor aren't that high, are they?
No, that's standard. 3 and 1 is 1 point higher than usual. It's 2 and 1 is the average, is the usual. So she has a higher defense.
I meant for a character of that many points, they're not that high. So in a way, maybe that's what's balancing the accuracy and evasive of 3 on Duelist.
Yeah.
Because we want to remove those Fs.
Yeah. So, no, I know why that's there. That's to say that this is slightly too powered. I'm more in the sense of, do you want to reduce accuracy by 1 or evasive by 1 or both of them, and something else comes up a little bit? Because she's got focus, so she can increase her attack. So that's the accuracy cross reference. Evasive 3 versus evade, so that's the cross reference there. So she's got that. It's just one of these 2 points.
What's the yin yang symbol there for?
Oh, that's the command. Sorry, I should refresh.
I was thinking, duelist, reduce accuracy and evasive to 2, and then give her feint. I mean, she's a duelist. Why would she not have feint?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's funny.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was funny, wasn't
That
it?
was... Yeah. So if we gave her the feint token skill and then reduce the accuracy and evasive on duelist...
Earlier feint. Okay.
That would probably do something, wouldn't it?
Okay, cool. Sweet. Henry, all done before attack. After this attack resolves, if the defender took any damage as part of this attack, daze them and deal 2 dice of direct damage. This is a little bit powerful, by the way. 2 dice of direct damage. So the straight up, my notes have said reduce this to 1 dice of direct damage. That's pretty much my notes on that one.
Direct damage ignores armor, isn't it?
Yeah, it just... No, it's... I mean, 2 dice of direct damage, you can roll between 0 and 10 damage. And
you could roll 5s.
On the old system, that would still be...
Just because there's no critical effect doesn't mean they can't explode.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
Although exploding dice seems to be built into the attack now, so direct and healing might not explode.
Yeah. And the armor value is ignored when calculating the defense total. Ah, okay. So it does still divide it. Rightio. For some reason, my brain was saying it's just straight damage, and I was like, "Whoa, that sounds expensive."
So it's like an armor-piercing bolt that leaves them dazed, and dazed isn't anywhere near as bad as stun.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
That next ability though is really good.
2 dice versus an average defense of 2 is going to be dividing it by 2. So yeah, it's still a bit powerful, but...
Oh yeah, it's going to be like a couple of points of damage for most people.
So, less bolt.
I've got a question.
Now, Blessed Bolt is a crossbow, so this should be a ranged attack.
It is. Oh no, I see what you mean, because it just says attack and implies you could do that with close combat as well. What's he doing? Stabbing him with a crossbow bolt? He's got a sword. Yeah.
Consecrated Ward. Henry cannot be chosen as part of enemy card effects or abilities. That's pretty
Given his preferred enemies, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's right. Break the seal. When Henry activates, draw a fate card, then place a fate card on top or bottom of your deck. So whatever fate card you've got in your hand that you're going to put back on the deck, and if you don't like it, put it on
doesn't
top.
need to be the one you place back in the deck either.
That's right. Yeah. Well, everything else about him is fine. So it's cool.
It's a way of putting a card you don't want on the bottom.
I was thinking though, maybe Henry's consecrated ward can be reduced slightly when he's damaged. Or maybe we give him a totally different ability when he's damaged.
A way to reduce it would be to make it a reaction with a cost of 1.
Yeah, that's a simple one. Okay.
But you'd need to reword it slightly, like when Henry is targeted by enemy card, things, whatever abilities pay this cost to do, whenever as 2 words.
Where? Oh, it's copy paste from the original. Non-native English speaking people making cards. So
I mean, that almost conflicts with Consecrated Ward in a way, because it means you can't get him back easily until he fails an attack. Then again, this is only on his extremely wounded side.
yeah, that's right.
Oh, we haven't even gotten to doing Demon Henril yet.
No, that's right.
Oh, I knew there was something missing.
Okay, I got the notes for it.
Clearly, Valros hasn't finished building Demon Henril yet.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's my way of saying I haven't written the short story about it yet.
Yeah. Betrogard. When Betrogard attacks or is attacked, break any targeting the opposing character. I read that wrong. My value. Yeah. Fine. Straightforward.
Big crushing base makes sense.
Betrogard cannot fall except at the end of the activations phase. Cannot fall due to enemy effects or abilities.
Now that's almost identical to Defiant, but not quite. It's a little bit more extreme.
Yeah. And the only reason we chose Defiant instead of Relentless for the keyword.
Yeah, Defiant can still fall due to enemy effects or abilities. Sometimes. Very specific ones.
Yeah. That's right. So Relentless, I've reduced the cost of Relentless as a result of that because it's just the point difference between Defiant and Relentless. The question is, do we, because this is constant, do we take that line of text out and just put the Defiant keyword down the bottom?
Quite possibly. Change that to Betrogard cannot fall due to enemy effects or abilities, rather than he cannot fall, just because we've removed his name from the beginning of the ability description.
Yeah. For some reason I'm typing my notes on the wrong line. All right, that'll probably give us a little bit of a point back. Kind of thinking... I'll think about it anyway. Silence of the Fates. While Betrogard is attacking or defending, your opponent cannot play Fate cards. So now, yeah, it's sort of in the... I get it. It's whenever Betrogard's activated...
when we're attacking him, you're attacking or defending.
Attacking or defending, but not if he's activated, but not anything else.
What?
Now, it's sort of like, okay, well, he doesn't really do, okay, you could be saying, okay, I've got Betrogard, I'm going to play him now. I'm going to play my guard token. And someone goes, oh, well, I'm going to cast a spell and it's going to stop you from doing a guard token. And he says, no, you can't because,
you're not.
Wait, no. It's attacking
the Fates
only.
Take no interest in him.
So I kind of felt like Silence of the Fates would also be in his activation, so you can't stop him from placing his tokens down.
Well, no, it's constant. It's not just in his activation.
No, but while Betrogard is attacking or defending.
Yeah, he defends outside his activation.
Yes, correct. But when he attacks inside his activation, but he also does guard, he also does focus, and he also does shield inside his activation. But none of those three actions are protected. The action of playing the skill tokens are not protected by Silence of the Fates. So, thematically, should he be protected at all times by the Fates, or the Fates only protecting in combat?
I think if you wanted to extend it to include his token skills, that would... I mean, you've got space for more wording there, but you'd have to rewrite the ability a bit to make that clearer.
Yeah.
It might get fiddly with wording trying to get the concept across.
Yeah, so, but Do you
Would it
think
be
that
like
the
Betrogard cannot be affected by fate cards played by your enemy at all? No, because they'd have to target
that's the
him
other question is,
specifically.
yeah, so is it the whole idea is that the fate cards don't affect him, and the original designers never bothered to think about other moments of play? Or is it
Not
only meant to
necessarily.
be that while he's in combat, he
It,
can't be affected by fate cards?
so it could be like saying, oh, the fates don't take any interest in him. He exists outside fate. And he makes his own destiny. Or it could be like he's got this sort of personal anti-magic zone that applies to fate cards, and he's like, no, you don't get to do that now. I'm hitting you with my mace. Or look, my shield's up. I've got my armor on. You don't get to use that extra card for like a attack bonus or whatever you're doing against me now. Just fight normally, fair and square. It's kind of like a balancer, an equalizer, a leveling thing, except that his player can use fate cards.
Yeah, it's a denial ability.
So yeah, it's about denial, which again is good with defiant. So it could be just like really defiant, just like I don't. But it's not that he's not affecting by them. He prevents them from playing the fate cards at all. So it's not like, oh yeah, you can pay for the card. It's just not going to do anything to me. He's just like, no, you don't get to do that now.
Yeah, it's in that zone. For me, I'm kind of like, well, I get maybe it's meant to be a combat-only blocker.
I imagine one reason for this is that he's all about fighting the succubi, especially Tyrael, and so he's heavily resistant to their manipulations.
Yeah, okay.
And their fate cards may specifically tie into this.
Yeah, it's fair. All right. Oh, well then, I guess we move on then.
But also, he's part demon himself because they corrupted and tainted him, and now he's trying to get revenge on them and purify himself.
How about one small change that on the damaged side, we make it that no one can play fate cards on him?
Yes. So just replace your opponent with neither player or no player.
Yeah. Add that. All right, for the couple of people that just joined us in the last couple of minutes, because I've only just now noticed we're up to like 4 or 5 people listening. Then essentially we're just going through the 1.0 cards and checking whether we can theoretically add or change something in the background for the damage side of the card. Because everything else is done. It's just these guys might need some tweaks. And we're also checking a bit of language that from the original card set. I think they might need to be tweaked before.
And if you're lucky, you might get to see some of the new cards as well. You probably will.
Yeah,
depends on how long we go
on. Okay, so back to it. Charlotte, expose weakness when Charlotte attacks. Choose one. She gains Pierce 2 for this attack, or the defender gets -1 defense attack.
Now,
pretty straightforward.
Because some characters, like Charlotte, have no armor, we need to make absolutely sure there is nothing in the game with a defense of 1. Even a defense of 2 is risky, because she can reduce defense down to 1, at which point she's doing huge damage. Yeah, because defense of 1 isn't dividing.
Because of its fate cost, and also requires her to be attacking, so you can only do it once per round. That's a decent enough. And you're splitting this either Pierce 2 to reduce their armor down from a 2 to a 0, but if their armor is already a 0, going to a defense 1. Is that what you're thinking? As like, hang on a second, how many characters have?
I think most people have a defensive 3 or higher, but there are a few defense 2 things out there, like skeletons mostly, I think.
Yeah. Well, let's have a quick look then.
Right. By fall on the card, is that intended wording? Yes. The original 1.0 rulebook explicitly didn't use the words kill or die. It's just characters fall when they run out of health. It's probably for censorship reasons in some countries where you're not allowed to explicitly imply that characters are being killed in a fight.
Yeah.
To the death.
And
also because some of the characters don't necessarily die when they fall, but they might return back to the heavens or wherever it is the demons come from.
I think also that there's a possibility that, like, for example, with Defiant, your character's fallen, you're still on the battlefield, it's not removed just
stay on
yet.
till the end of the round and then
Stay
collapse.
at the end of the round, so maybe someone can come and heal you. There's lots of different instances, and I think fall just takes all of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It
does sound more heroic, yes.
I am, for everyone now watching, this is my spreadsheet that I use for all the stats for all the cards. So we're just going to quickly look at the defense rating here and see if anyone has a
defense of 2 and no armor, right up there at the top. And again.
Yeah.
And again for Yakun.
Yakun's on this side of the field, so you're not going to be casting it yourself.
True, so mostly people in other factions.
Helpy Dog and Front. Yeah, so.
Noble Bear and Corona Bat would go down to a defense of 1.
Yeah, there you go. So there's one. Okay, but it's against the enemy, so let's look at some enemies.
She'd kill a stuffed teddy.
Hellhounds. Hellhounds can have.
Ooh. Okay.
Yep. So a Hellhound can be reduced. So I don't mind the idea of her ability reducing a Hellhound down. Technically, Lilia and Wong.
I
think that might be a mistake.
Wong only has a defense of 2. That's interesting.
I think that might be a mistake. I need to look for my Wong card and find whether that was correct originally.
I mean, Lilia's an archer, so she's likely to be at a distance normally anyway.
I think we forgot to adjust these 2 stats before, so we'll quickly. There. And I don't know where my Lilia card is.
Well, normally it's like 2 or 3 cards lower than Goron's card in the deck.
Nah.
But you've gone and rearranged them, haven't you?
Mine are all over the desk. Mine are just completely covering my desk. Lilia, okay. No, Lilia doesn't have any armor. So she's fine. That's correct for her. So. Okay, so it doesn't really affect that many characters, so I'm fine with that. It's not like you should be attacking your friendly characters. But I suppose, though, if the demon can cast a spell on Charlotte and turn her temporarily for 1 round and then apply...
I think you mean if... Not Tyrell, the other one is sitting on the big giant snake. You know who I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because she can command enemies to take an action for her.
Lilith. Yeah, so Lilith could cause Charlotte to expose weakness on one of the friendly characters who are in this weakened state, and because she rolls 4 dice as of attack, and with a divisor of only 1, would wipe them off the board. But both of those situations, are so rare, but they're so cool, and I want players to discover them and let us know when they're playing.
It's so shockingly powerful, and it's something Betrogard's completely immune to.
Yeah. Shadow Step, place Charlotte in empty space, so she's just quickly moving, just cost you 1 fate.
Yeah.
While Charlotte's attacking an activated character, she gains accuracy 2 an advantage. That's fine, no problems there. I had a joke. I thought it would be funny because using the strike back, like when they, and who is they? The Empire strikes back, and having some sort of reference to that on the damage side of the card, but because it's Charlotte it kind of sounds a bit. Anyway. So we haven't done anything for her damage side.
Apart from her stats changing.
Yeah, oh, that's right. She does have a stat change. But do we want to have anything for the
Maybe knock off a
abilities?
point of evasive.
Oh, evasive
on the
4.
wounded side, down to evasive 3.
Yeah, that might make more sense. Okay.
Yeah, she's had so many blows to the head that her sort of tremor sense and hearing and stuff aren't quite up to scratch, and she's not quite so aware of where her enemies are, because she's blind, by the way, you know, for those who are not familiar with the character. She's like that Daredevil character from the Marvel Cinematic Universe that I don't know very much about, apparently.
Yeah.
Or a bat
Yeah.
with supersonic hearing.
Echolocation. Yakun, our healer. Now,
3
anyone who looks at
shards
might
cost.
think, yeah, she's only got a 3 shard cost, and you're like, man, but she's only got an attack of 2. She's only got defensive 2 and no armor, which means anyone who whops her, she is going to go down pretty quickly.
Yep.
So she's going to go, and she's only got 3 health with normal side and 1 health with the other. So again, she is going to very easily be wiped off the board, but she's also very powerful. She has recover 3 like no one else does.
She also has the holy keyword.
Oh yeah, she's one of the few
keyword,
characters that has holy keyword.
Description word,
So
yes.
she can cast the polymorph spell to
Yes.
turn everybody else into sheep and kelpies. And
She's one of the few people in the game who can.
Yeah, that's it. She's the chosen one. If you have fewer fate in your pool than your opponent, you get to move it over to you.
Mm-hmm.
And inspiration, command, ignoring rank, also quite powerful. For this alone, I was even considering bumping her point up, because she can command both of the lords. So she's got command normally, and she can command lords with inspiration. It only costs 1 fate point, which you could probably steal from your opponent. Excuse me.
Do these change on the wounded side?
Yes, we do. On the wounded side, the recover 3 goes recover 2. And inner light, this is the one. If Yakun is hidden, she's not in line of sight or range of an enemy, she's behind a unit or terrain, she can use all of her actions, because heroes have a bonus action, and every character has 2 actions. So use all 3 actions, and she can do a full heal and recover. And we were discussing this last night to swap this to a keyword where actually you get to flip it back to the other side.
Should we allow inner light to restore her to her healthy side?
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah,
what I mean.
so we're talking, heal could push you up and recover could not, or maybe.
Yep. No, one of those other keywords we were discussing.
Weak.
Quickly just writing this down. Yakun. Change heal to replenish.
Oh,
whatever that.
Possibly calling it like nourish or restore or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll work out what we're going to call it.
Yep. Okay. Shield guard, big expensive boy.
Yes.
6, 10, or 14. Right, protects the king. If a friendly adjacent character is attacked, move a shield token from yourself to the defending character before resolving the attack. So the key for this, though, is you've got to have spent the action to put the shield token on yourself, and then put yourself next to or adjacent to another character, so that you're able to do
they are total bodyguards.
Sorry?
They are total bodyguards.
Yeah, but you've got to leave them next to. That my point is, you've got to take that action and spend it and sit them next to the guys, right? Quickly writing note: shield guard, bash skill, So shield bash is an attack. It comes at -1, and Pierce 2 is counteracted, so you're not going to go through armor. If the attack deals at least 1 damage, daze the defender. This is actually quite a weak attack.
Yes. I'm surprised it doesn't push them away as well.
It probably
given the
should.
size of the shields.
Yeah. And that's not included in the old card, so let's add that to the new card.
In theory, shield bash would make sense if it could be done in addition to their lance attack.
So it's not a attack.
So it would be like this does not count towards your limit of 1 attack per activation. Or so. Yeah, if they could do their normal attack and shield bash as well, obviously then they wouldn't be generating any. So the only real reason for shield bash then is to try and daze your opponent, which is going to be hard because you're losing your 2 points of pierce and losing a point of attack. It's basically almost never going to happen.
No, you're still rolling 3 dice.
Attack -1. So you're rolling 2 dice.
You're rolling 2 dice, and you just need to roll at least typically a 4, where your roll can be anywhere between 0 and 10. I think it's 60% chance it will happen.
Okay. How about
but they're not really
if the
attacking
attack
units,
deals at least 1 damage, daze the defender, but could we also give the attack critical stun?
Critical stun? No, because critical stun would mean if the dice roll a crit, it auto stuns.
Instead of exploding. Because you said it was a bit weak. Daze is just like -1 to attack until you've done your next attack or something. You know, stun is like, oh no, you're missing your next activation. It's big. It would make it a stronger ability, but would that be a good thing?
Okay, I'll leave a note here.
Yeah.
Check the math on Shield Guard. Check the math on Shield Bash.
Oh, wait. Because daze progresses to stun.
Yeah.
If 2 of them bash you.
Yeah.
Then you're stunned. You know, it's like boom, boom.
Yeah, and Daze also says it can take as many tokens as you want. So you could have all 3 of them.
Yeah, it could really pile up.
And then you could use that, what's the name, ability to command them to do it again. Don't stop bashing them. Keep bashing them, goddammit.
They're
Bash them until
like American football players with those big padded things they hold in front of them during training. Except they're not pads. Oh, wow.
I'll check the math on that one, but I think I'm fine. I think the cost will come down slightly as a result. So it'll probably become 6, 9, 13 or something. Yeah. You'll notice there's no damage side for troops. Once they lose their 3 hit points, they're gone. So, Rose Thorns. When a friendly hero or Rose character falls, so the Rose character is anyone with a Rose keyword in it. Which we saw
Elia, Rose Knights, Rose Fawns. A lot of the new characters.
Yep. When a friendly hero or Rose character falls, focus or attack. Now, the interesting part is this is a reaction attack.
Yes. It's an out-of-activation attack.
I should probably point that out on the card, because we've got the spare space for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can only attack once on your activation. Outside it, that's another matter. Yeah, it's just most characters don't get to.
That's right. But because some people would read the rulebook and say, oh, but you're only allowed to attack once.
In your activation. Read the whole sentence.
You can reaction attack multiple times. Yeah.
And
light in the dark.
The other thing is, there's 3 members of that troop. All 3 of them get to attack or focus every time this happens.
Yeah, because it doesn't have adjacent or line of sight or anything.
No, it's just every member of of the little trio gets to do
Oh,
something.
I didn't think about that. Actually, that makes this super powerful. Imagine someone's on the other side of the board and they die. The Rose Thorns all go, "Hey!" And then they focus their attack, even though it's enough.
Actually, it's
Maybe,
more like oh, your lord is killing a load of Rose Knights. Awesome, kill one. We'll all focus. Now we dare you to kill another one.
Yep. Now we attack. I'm gonna have to check the math on that one because that sort of feels super powerful. It might need to be a range of 6 or something like that.
I mean, they've also got Light in the Dark, which is arguably more powerful.
At the end of each character's activation, recover 2, targeting a troop within 3. You may remove a Bane from that troop, limit once per character per turn. So, yeah, it's because there are 3, they can all recover. Recover 2 can, in theory, heal them all the way back to full.
Yeah, but any troop
one
within 3 squares. So that could be Shield Guards, that could be Rose Knights, Tiger Knights.
Yeah. Again, we were discussing this last night about that once per character.
Since certain new heroes who can hide among troops have the troop designation instead of the hero designation, they could be healed.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Ooh.
Lances,
so that's like Lance, the U-Scouts, possibly.
Yep.
Interesting.
We'll get back to that.
What I like about this, hang on, with the removal of a Bane, is imagining some kind of enemy in the future who gains a strength based on the amount of Banes on them. And so you want to remove the Banes from them and look, recover 2, yeah, sure, but we'll take a Bane off and he'll lose like a few extra deadly or something, you know.
Yep.
Thinking ahead there of reasons why you might do it to an enemy, because it doesn't have the friendly restriction.
I just noticed the keyword Bane is not highlighted.
Bolded. Yeah.
So I fixed it.
So
for the people who are watching, I'm a web designer / web programmer by trade, and this whole project has been written in a web editor, so I can very quickly create the rules in my programming to update that. So what I've done is jumped into the keywords and said, oh, the word Bane needs to be there with a keyword on it. When once you've refreshed it, then it goes through and applies this highlight field to that word. Okay. Rolling down. Tiger Knight Archer. While attacking a bloodied enemy or an enemy with wound, Tiger Knight Archer gains accuracy 2. So if any unit receives a blood token from damage, they're considered bloodied. So he can shoot a fairly decent distance across the table. And with an accuracy 2 increase on top of his already good 2 dice roll, he's...
And a reminder that wound is like, it's taking damage every turn, like you're on fire, you're bleeding, you're poisoned or something like that. Although poison is a separate token that functions slightly differently to wound, because it's a special kind, because obviously certain things that are undead don't care about poison.
Right. No, actually, the poison token, I think, from memory, is supposed to be a multiplier effect. So you can have a poison wound, which will just keep that wound in play. It doesn't make it go away. Anyway, Eye of the Tiger. Friendly characters don't obstruct Tiger Archers. He just shoots over the top of them. You don't worry about any player on the board for their attack. Right. Tiger Knight Halberdiers. While attacking outside its activation, Tiger Knight gains advantage. Pretty straightforward.
And if you were wondering when they would attack outside their activation...
When an enemy enters the Tiger Knight's threat range, discard the guard token. That's the guard token down there. And attack. So,
yep.
And that's reaction attack. So that's outside of his normal attack. Effectively, the Tiger Knight Halberdiers are going to be, if you can position them nicely, they'll make an attack in their round and then guard so they can make another attack in your opponent's turn and gaining advantage while doing so. Just notice the word
they're also
advantage.
Reasonably cheap.
Reasonably. Now, they're a bit pricier than they used to be. They were 368s and now they're 468. Oh, no. The Halberdiers used to be 357s. The archers
okay.
were.
I need to step away from them. Back soon.
Alright, cool. I'll continue. Now, we increased some of their stats and made them a little bit more powerful. Not sure if I gave them push or that was originally there. Yep, we gave them push. So they can push back units. The Rose Knights is another set of troops for the Aslan. Avenger, when a friendly hero or Rose character falls, focus or attack. You might remember we saw that above. And Teamwork, Rose Knight gains accuracy 2 while attacking a flanked character. So flanked is when you've got 2 of your models that are in base contact with the same enemy. So if you position a Rose Knight on the left side of your enemy and the right side of the enemy, they're considered flanked.
Okay,
and so both
briefly.
of the Rose Knights are going to gain accuracy 2. So that's what that one's about. And now we're into the new cards.
Yep. I'm going to have to step away for about 10 minutes, but I'll be back as soon as I can.
Alright, well, I'll just continue going through it.
So before going, though, Banestar is basically Druss from David Gemmell's novels in terms of personality.
Okay. For the 3 people that are listening, feel free to, if you've got a microphone and you want to ask questions, feel free. It's no restriction on anything here. It's not just cool. So, Mighty Half Sword Blow. I mean, it's a pretty decent sword. So he just grabs it by the midpoint because he's got an armored glove on. So he grabs the midpoint and just half swords it into people. It's an attack. So I'm going to change that symbol to make it a little bit more obvious on this. PS3 goes through an armor of 3, which is so rare. So basically the idea here is we thought Barristan should just be able to stand through any armor. So PS3 is just taking care of any given armor there. Deadly +1. He already has Deadly 2. I don't think I adjusted that value. Leave a note for myself. Barristan's attack plus Deadly. So the key point is that Deadly doubles whatever the dice roll here is. So it's not supposed to be 4 and blank. It's 2 and Deadly 2 will be the same as 4. As we go through and adjust things, every now and then certain things get missed, and that's why we do this go through. So gaining Deadly +1 means it's going to be Deadly 3, which triples whatever the dice roll is here. So this is a very, very powerful attack, but it is a full action, and it is you got to spend a Fate Crystal to perform it as well. Not on my watch. If a target is within standard range and line of sight range, in most characters' cases, if they don't have a range score for range of things like this, we use the speed score. So with any character within 2 and visible, they're not behind a wall or something, They can remove all breaks and 1 break from all friendly units. Sorry, there's that all there. Should be probably bigger to make it more obvious. So you're either going to say this 1 unit, any bad tokens are gone, or all units, 1 token from each of them. Undeniable authority, choose any number of damage characters of equal or lower rank. Rank, if you don't know, we've got 3 ranks in the game: Lords, Heroes, and Troops. Lords at the top, Heroes in the middle, Troops at the bottom. So any number of damage characters will equal, so Hero or lower rank Troops. But technically, Morphs are smaller ranked than Troops, so there's, that counts as well. They get a boost any, which is a +1 token, and recover, so they might recover 1 health. With a recover 1, you divide it by 3, so you're rolling a dice that has a blank on it and numbers 1 through 5. So you've got a 3 and 1, no, 3 and 5 chance that you're going to get healed. So you might not from a recover 1. Cost X increases by 1, so X is up here, for each target, because it's a choose any number of damage characters. So the first one is 3, the second one is 1, the third is 2, etc., etc. Okay, but that increases by, so the total cost for 3 units will be 3, and the total cost for 4 units will be 6. Okay. We also have a keyword here, imposing, which is new to the game. When we go over the rule book, imposing. This a bit bigger for people. Imposing characters draw the sight of the enemy as would a huge character through sheer force of will or style of combat. When determining line of sight, imposing characters act as blocking terrain to other non-huge models. Imposing characters are also visible over non-huge models. If an opposing unit once per action, they can spend 1 of their move points to impose characters of lower rank, moving them 1 square, allowing them to stop in the square that was otherwise occupied. So what that basically means is that when you're doing line of sight, you can see characters who are imposing beyond. So this especially for archers, where archers or range characters would be able to shoot only whoever's nearby. And imposing characters, they're just so imposing that you just see them. You see them beyond other characters. And to counteract the negativity of that, because of course now you're a kind of a target for your enemies, an imposing unit, they can spend 1 of their move points to impose characters of lower rank, moving them 1 square. So as the imposing character moves forward, they can push enemies. Actually, it might make more sense, say, pushing them 1 square, allowing them to stop in the square that was otherwise occupied, pushing them out of that square. So I want to stand there, get out of my way, I'm going to stand here, is the idea of that one. So I'll just leave myself a note to say imposing push. By the way, we're going to go through the rule book in, I think, next weekend or the weekend afterwards as a final for the rule book before it goes off to the prints. So Vincent wants all of these cards at the end of today, so that's why we're doing this today. I don't think there's any change to his. Oh, the cost here increases by 1 for undeniable authority. So you'll notice it's X plus 1 here. First it was X here, and not on my watch increases to a 2 on this side. So when he's a little bit weakened, some of his stats get dropped a bit. Lance is the one that Malgan was talking about, where he enters, where he becomes effectively a troop himself. So when an adjacent to a friendly troop that has at least 2 models, Lance becomes hidden. And there's a set of rules on hidden. And the idea is that you pick up Lance's model from the board and you get whatever friendly troop that model is replacing. So if you had, say, 3 Tiger Knight archers on the board, Lance is next to them. You take a 4th archer, put him on the board, take Lance off the board, and put Lance onto the unit card to show that he's hiding inside of that unit. Provided they've got at least 2 models on the board, you can do that. And while he is hidden, Lance can make any attack from any troop's unit position. So Lance's action is he could be any one of these guys. So you can make his higher attack from that position, from any of those positions. They still have standard attack, so you can only have one. And the other one is Lance can reappear on the board up to 4 squares away from any troop unit he was hidden amongst as he sneaks out of that. So that's his main skill. Sneak into, make attacks, and sneak out of. But also note that if he sneaks into the troop, he is now effectively a troop. And if he is the healing effect that you saw before, the command effect from the Rose Knights would affect that troop, that it would also affect Lance in that ability there. So that's pretty cool. The whole point of Limbo is to make a lot of these really cool abilities to make combos or combine skill sets or combine things so that you can come up with some cool strategies when you're playing a game. So that's the whole point of this. The difference is on the back, we don't have the hidden rules anymore. So once Lance has received enough damage that you flip his side, he can't hide. He's obviously damaged, and it's too obvious that he's not who he's pretending to be anymore. So instead, when adjacent to a friendly unit, Lance cannot be the line of sight, cannot be the line of sight target. So you cannot target him in that sense. Glide and slice. After attacking a non-huge unit, Lance may swap places with the target if they die shift. So the whole idea is to make sure he doesn't die once again. He's a bit of a dick, really. He just, I don't want to die today. Grab another unit, get him in my way, and they can die for him instead of me. And Shadow Step, he can. Shift is a movement type where you do not provoke attacks of opportunity or reaction attacks, anything else as a result of the movement. When someone has a rule that says if target character moves, well, they're not moving, they're shifting. So you shift into an empty space within 2. So that's how I do there. Another new character is Octavia. She is impervious. She can take no more than 2 wounds during a single attack. So if someone rolls 11 damage, then sorry, she can't take more than 2. She's just so good at defending herself and blocking the damage. Relentless Assault. If she dazes an opponent, there's a good thing. The keyword didn't. Where's daze? Dazes. Quickly do that one now because I can. Dazes. The opponent, she may attack again. And enemies attacking Octavia will lose the reach keyword. So she's very... Oh, what happened there? We lost that wild parry. What happened? That's considered a passive. Okay. I can very quickly
I'm back now.
That. Hello. Wild parry is not listed as a... Enemies attacking Octavia lose the reach keyword. Is that reactive? I believe so.
That'd be a constant, wouldn't it?
No, because they don't lose it constantly. They only lose it when they attack.
But they lose it while they're attacking. It's not a reaction.
The reaction is that they attack.
No, because she constantly has the ability, regardless of what the ability does to them. What the ability does to them is temporary, but... That is an odd word, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, she's lost days again, hasn't she?
what?
She's lost critical days. The hit
The
skills
crit's
aren't
not
showing up on
showing
her
up.
card for some reason. Again.
Yeah, I've got to figure out what's going on with that. That's it's a tweak. It's in my notes to fix that, so I'm going to do
Yeah.
that after this call.
I mean, you
Right.
could just reword it. Enemies do not gain the benefit of the reach keyword while attacking Octavia.
Is there a mechanical reason that it can't be reaction?
Well, if it's a reaction, it's going to have a cost, or...
Cost of 0?
I mean, why would it be a reaction? It's something she's always doing. Now, it could be a reaction. Okay, so if it's a constant, enemies cannot use the reach keyword to attack her. They need to come up and attack her close up. Whereas if it's a reaction, they declare the attack on her.
Yeah.
She triggers her reaction. They lose the reach keyword.
Yeah.
Their attack is then wasted. They can't attack anyone else this activation.
Yeah.
And it becomes a much bigger thing. Whereas
she's carried them.
Whereas just denying them the ability to get through her swinging blade, which she's swinging around like a baseball bat or something, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like they're like, okay, no, look, I'll have to get closer or go for someone else. Whereas if it's a reaction, it cancels their attack. It doesn't cancel the attack. It just breaks the attack essentially. Prevents it from having any result.
Yeah.
And they've wasted an action. Whereas, so if it's constant, it doesn't waste their action. If it's a reaction, it wastes their action.
Yeah, the whole point is to waste their action because it's parry. She's parrying them. So if it's a constant, I mean, she's always parrying all the time.
So, in that case, I would look at the wording of something like Elia's abilities for moving out of reach so they then can't attack you and stuff like that, to be like, because I don't think it's her specifically, but someone has something similar. No, because hers is after the attack resolves, but I think there's a similar reaction somewhere that can happen. The shift can happen before the attack, and then it's a bit weird. So essentially, if you want it to actually cancel the enemy attack, you'll need to make that a little more explicit in the wording there, which is not what I expected at all.
There's something you didn't know, you weren't here for. I forgot to reduce his attack score while deadly.
Yes, attack 4 with deadly 2, with mighty half sword blow on top of that as well.
Yeah. He was another plus one deadly, yeah. Well, it has -1 attack, but still, a 3 with triple, that's 9 dice. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So, no.
And at a mere cost of 1 fake crystal as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. No problem, I've got the notes on that. We don't have a damage side.
So they're showing on the damage side the hit keywords.
Yeah, that's what I mean, is I've got to figure out why
they're just not showing on her healthy side for some reason.
Yeah. Alright. She's got a different one. Valiant. If Octavia's healed, turn her unit card back from damage, but put 3 blood tokens on her.
Yes. This is the thing I was talking about when we were talking about Yakun earlier.
Yep. And so, the question of what is healed then?
When she healed is when you receive any form of healing, have damage tokens removed, essentially.
That's obvious, right? That's obvious to us, at least. Anyone from the chat in the listening?
There
Is
is
it
enough
fairly
space, but
obvious?
it could be rewritten to be when
Yeah.
Octavia removes damage tokens.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Do we include a whole bunch of
Because
extra
wild
words?
parry, there's like
Saying,
enough room for another couple of words of text below that, so we could make the Valiant's description longer if it needs to be.
Yeah. I want to make sure it's pretty obvious, meaning if you take blood tokens off of her, if someone casts Recover on her, any of these things happen, then it triggers this. Turn her unit card back from damaged.
We have typing. There's a response incoming.
VGA Sven's typing.
Okay, yeah, agree. Should be as clear as possible. So yeah, we may need to reword that to replace the word healed with, like, when damage tokens are removed from Octavia or when blood tokens are removed. We'll work out a way of wording it. And there's enough space on the card to extend that description a bit.
Yeah, I thought it was clear, but if at least one person says it's not quite that clear, then I'll definitely fix it. All right, cool. Restoria. Bring it on! Restoria gains accuracy 1 for each enemy character that threatens her.
Now that's similar to one of Goron's skills. In fact, it may be extremely similar.
Yeah, we might.
Oh yeah, because he gets 2 accuracy for each person threatening him or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's more into that.
He thrives on adversity.
Yeah, Restoria gets a little bit panicked, but she's still better at it. She already has accuracy 2.
Yeah.
She already has 3 dice. So statistically, for each enemy character, and you can have up to, you can have 4 characters threatening on your flanks, and you've got reach characters. Could theoretically, at best, you can have 8 characters threatening her. So you could have a +8,
which is highly unlikely.
It's extremely unlikely
because they'll have other things to be dealing with, like all the other Rose Knights.
Is it? We don't have a fate card which gives the cleave keyword to somebody?
I don't think so, but we might want to look into that. It sounds like a brute keyword to me. A brute, but most brutes probably have cleave already.
Yeah. Imagine, though, you roll 3 dice with a +10, and you've got cleave, so you cleave each attack into the next attack, into the next attack. You just wipe. So someone sees Restoria on the board and goes, oh, let's come and kill Restoria, and they just race up and surround her, and with a single attack, she kills like 6 people.
Well, the thing is, she is rather tanky in certain ways. Also, should we spill the beans?
What?
She may or may not be a vampire.
Oh, yeah.
She's not entirely human.
That's evident by her teeth in the picture.
So she's not like an undead vampire, but more like the kind of ghoulish, very living kind of, just slightly infected. So it's not like literally draining the blood from people, but she kind of gains more like an energy vampire, where she like sucks off essence or like the rush or the thrill of the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, that does suggest that maybe 9's a little bit low for her. Maybe we should power her up a bit more. I'm going to leave some notes for that. Restoria.
And the other thing is she needs to synergize closely with Chrysler and all the other Rose Knights, especially Chrysler, who's like a sort of mother figure or sister figure to her. They're very close, so we will look at their abilities together when doing both of them. This next one.
Okay, this is one of the ones where I get the idea, but we had this idea, and this is for the guys listening into the chat. We had this idea at some point. We're using phrases that people would say as skill words. And after some little bit of play testing, I took it up to the Wargaming Association here in South Australia, and we play tested a couple of them, and they liked saying, "I'm going to use rallying strength. I'm going to use bring it on," as Like, but it made sense, like in other ones where I'm going to use my Valiant skill here, or I'm going to use my Wild Parry skill here. When they'd say, I'm going to use my Bring It On, it was like, well, the idea is to quote it, like, say, Bring It On. But then people were like, well, are you just saying that, or are you triggering the ability? So, in the case of you, I think I'm going to let the team here decide on a new name for this skill. Okay? So you're here and you're in Discord. You're allowed to choose the name of this skill. So let's discuss. Restoria strikes the enemy with a standard. The standard is the flag, by the way, if you're not familiar with the word. You may attack. All Rose Knights may shift 1 towards the target. Daze and break move on the target. So the target becomes so shock and awe. Oh my gosh, this thing is going to, she's going to kill me. They're dazed.
It's also got crossbars like a boar spear, so she could also be like pinning them in place, pinning them down, and everyone's just sort of rushing in to get in on the action.
Yeah. So you're telling everybody this person is the person we're going to now attack. Everyone gets to move towards them. They get daze and break move. Now notice though the wording order. This really should be italics because it's more of a descriptive what's going on. You make an attack, then all Rose Knights shift 1, then daze and break.
Just to be clear, that's not just troopers, that's characters like Elia, any petals.
Yeah, Rose.
Yeah, all Rose units.
Yeah.
Anyone with Rose written up there at the top of the card underneath their name.
Yep. So it's a really powerful, but you are spending 3. So anyone in the chat, you guys have an idea of names?
I'm kind of tempted to go with something like Pinion. Like Pinioning Strike or something. But it doesn't quite feel right. If any of you have any excellent suggestions, feel free to share them. Oh, suggestions are coming in. Inspire. Interesting. Maybe like Inspiring Strike.
I'm just quickly doing this into the chat.
Yeah, let's see if anyone else comes up with any other ideas. It's not quite like a rallying call, is it? Or a call to action. Oh, we have another. Focused.
Inspire. Focused.
Focused leader.
STH.
Focal point, maybe. Something with leadership. Leading strike. Guiding strike, maybe?
Guiding.
Ah, we have a thumbs up for guiding strike. Although that was my suggestion based on leading strike. There may be more incoming. Yeah.
Shattering Charge, Rosethorn Maneuver, Pricked Finger.
Oh no. Please, no, you've absolutely screwed this video now.
Oh, why?
It'll be destroyed in the search rankings because I'll have to click the button saying that AI was used in the creation of this video.
No, no one used AI.
You read stuff out. I know what you did.
No, I'm in the other channel. I'm in the 1.5 rules discussion channel.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant a different chat.
No.
Let's see. Oh yeah, we do have Shattering Charge, Rally, Call to Arms, Pricked Finger, Fawn's Embrace. Oh, Fawn's Embrace is good. Fawn's Tip. And yes, I'm blatantly entering one myself there because it's the tip of the spear. Here we go.
John D forgot that we're in chat and he's playing Doom.
We have Exposed Target Strike. What else have we got here? Oh, a couple of people can't make it at the moment. All right.
Yeah. I'm going to post a picture of the card in the thing for people who can't attend the...
Yeah, for people in the 1.5 discussion.
Yeah.
Many of whom are here listening in already, by the way. But,
yeah.
But it would open up the opportunity for other suggestions to be made.
Yeah. All right, well, I think because I put it into the 1.5 rules discussion, we can leave it there and people come up with more ideas, then we can put a vote on it. That's cool.
Maybe put it in a Kickstarter update as well. Just that way a few more backers might see it.
Yeah.
And of course she has Rallying Strength, which is an incredible ability.
She recovers for each 2 roses within range.
Is it every 2 on the healthy side or just every 1 on the healthy side?
Every 2 roses.
Has it changed?
Gathering Storm. Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe what I'll do is I've got an update. I'm almost ready to press send on. I was waiting for those extra photos of the new dice, but they don't have them yet. So maybe I'll chuck in a couple of these cards and say, hey, if you'd like to come up with a vote, give us some new names for it, or just vote on ones that you got. Maybe it'll make more sense if the Discord group has made up a bunch of names and we'll pick 6 to choose from and then put it in the update and say, okay, we'll choose one of these 6, something like that.
So is it different on the healthy side or is it the same on the healthy side?
Which one? What?
It is the same on the healthy side, okay.
I'll get rid of that bit. It should make them closer.
Because recover... No, it is still dice foes, so it's limited how much she'll get back.
Yeah.
Was she supposed to have something like... No, because... Right, what is the point of her recovering health when she's only got 1 health? Was she supposed to be defiant on the wounded side or something? Because there's no health to recover when 1 point will kill her.
Yeah, good point. We should give her defiant.
I'm not sure she should have it on both sides, but just on the wounded side.
Yeah, it makes 0 sense on this side to have 1 health and not have defiant and have a recovery. I'll either get rid of the rallying strengths on the back
on the wounded side,
or give it her the ability. Oh, no, hang on. No, we can't. Well, okay. Imagine the scenario. Ristoria's on the board.
Yeah.
Okay, and she always has at least 1 rose within her visual range, right?
Mm.
She always recovers, and she's defiant, so she doesn't go down until the end of the turn. But it still costs 1 fate point. Okay, that's the cost. I forgot about the.
Wait. So hang on. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can give her defiant. My point was that she'd be immortal. As long as there's a rose on the board, she's immortal.
Yeah, it's an action. It's not a constant or
it's
always on or something, you know.
Yeah, that's fine. But giving her defiant to make a point on the backside. Otherwise, it's a useless. You'd never use it if she doesn't have defiant. Defiant on damage side. Right. Avaria. All units within 2 can command Avaria.
Yep.
An aura to command. An aura 2. That needs to be a little bit more obvious. That's not obvious. Avaria, aura, colon.
Well, I mean, it's literally just summarizing everything before the colon, isn't it?
No, I mean, aura 2, as in aura to command, aura 2, as in range of an aura.
All units within 2 can command Avaria.
Yeah. Colon.
Everything after the colon can go because it's just redundantly repeating the same information in a more condensed form.
No. It's the opposite. All units within 2 can command Avaria, so that she will cause an aura to command.
What? That doesn't make sense.
An aura to command means she commands everyone within 2 squares of her.
No, that would be a pulse, because an aura is always on, isn't it? So that doesn't make sense. Okay, we're going to have to look at that at some point.
Yeah.
Because that is contradicting itself weirdly.
I thought the idea was that any other unit, as long as they're within 2, can call to Avaria, and then she goes, of course, and then she sends a command out to everybody, and everyone goes, yay!
Nope, like I just read it as everyone within 2 can command her. I'd probably remove the ability for enemies to command her, but they're probably not going to want to.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave a note there that makes no sense.
That is confusing. If anyone has any thoughts on this one, please feel free to let us know.
Well, I'll check the notes on that one and figure out why.
Although we have so many other characters to get through that we might not want to dwell on it too heavily at the moment right now.
Yeah. Confusing. Alright, Twin Blade Strike, attack with deadly. That should be an attack -1 because otherwise she's going to have...
May not use other abilities or skills with this attack, so she'd lose the accuracy too for this attack.
Yep. You can't do focus, you can't accuracy,
use focus.
Can't use guidance slice, you can't use hopeful empowerment.
Maybe she can't use fate cards while making this attack as well.
But
I mean, she's reasonably priced. We don't need to make her cheaper.
Yeah. Yep, okay. Make it obvious. Okay. Glide and slice. After attacking a non-huge unit, Avaria may swap places with the target if they die, shift 1. So she's able to reactionary, make an attack, swap places, make a move. So you can run up to them, make an attack on them, swap places with them, and then run past them.
Yep.
Nothing changed there. I think glide and slice should have an effect that's reduced or different if
Maybe remove shift 1 on the wounded side.
No, I'm thinking actually the whole idea of her being able to run across the battlefield and going glide and slice, while damaged should be like I don't expect her to be running, especially since I've reduced her move score
How
by
about
1.
stumble and slice?
Yeah.
So instead of glide and slice, it's like she doesn't get to switch places, but she gets to shift once before she attacks.
Just stumble into people.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I might not call it bumper cars.
It's kind of staggering, off balance, a bit unpredictable.
Well, no, I don't mind the idea of the opponent thinking that she's going to do one thing and she just staggers into them and stabs them.
Yeah. It's not staggering slice, it's stagger and slice.
Stagger and slice. Okay.
Oh dear, what do we need to do, Aphrodite? Everything.
Something's wrong on Aphrodite.
Yes.
Caused a check. So for those of us who's just joined or the people who are watching, the keyword this is programmatically put in. So my computer has said something in here. The math hasn't added up, and as a result, a checksum has been added to the name, so that I will check on it. And this is what the beauty of doing this as a programming thing is that it will tell me. It's probably just it's overspent. Too much stuff was spent on skills or something. Anyway, there's an exclamation mark.
Well, you got fuck you under born leader instead of focus.
What? Foku.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was spell checker. Maybe the spell checker did that. Foku. Here's another one that we can say needs a name change. So I'll grab a new.
Oh, was it because you wanted Brave Star to be a reaction when it's a constant?
Oh, possibly that too.
It has a cost, and constant shouldn't have a cost. I'm seeing issues here. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. While he is threatened, the word while makes it a constant and not a reaction. So this is similar to Elia's duelist ability when she's targeted by a single character or threatened by a single character, and operates on a similar way, in a similar manner.
Yeah. So while Aphrodite is threatened by only a single enemy, trigger Brave Star to gain accuracy 2 and boost attack. The problem with this one is that accuracy and boost attack are both bonuses, and it's not. We don't want to be. And he already has accuracy 3. And boost attack is effective, and he already has attack of 4, so it increases the costing points of this one out, like accuracy 5 and plus and a 5th attack makes the total cost of this like 6. points, and we've only paid 2 points for it with his shard cost. And so this has to have an increase of payment for it. So this accuracy 2 boost attack needs to be paid for and has a requirement. But we don't want to say okay, how about this then? Let's make this an attack. Because there's no point in saying he's threatened by a single enemy. What's he going to do? Not attack and gain accuracy 2 and boost attack and not use it? He doesn't have anything that gives him another attack for it. So we just change Brave Star from a constant into its own attack. So it's a specialized attack called, Brave Star. Although, why is it called Brave Star if he's attacking one enemy?
Because of me misremembering the title of a 1980s cartoon.
Ah.
Lone Star is the cartoon I was thinking of.
Lone Star.
You know, that science fiction thing with the cowboy and the robot horse.
Yeah. Okay, that has to change.
Yeah, it was a placeholder ability name.
Right.
But he is supposed to be brave, but he's also supposed to be ridiculously strong somehow. Despite his sculpt. Despite his weedy little body that's been sculpted on the miniature, yeah.
For our 4 listeners, do you want to keep it Brave Star and we'll all have it as an in-joke amongst the 4 of us, or the 6 of us, that we all know why it's called Brave Star? Or should we change the name?
Change the ability name to Super Ted.
Oh my god. Keep it, okay. Board leader, command. The commanded character gains focus.
I mean, that's literally Godfrey's ability, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
yeah. That's okay.
Got it. With me, pull 3 and boost any friendly characters within 4 and sight. This pull is not reduced by the huge keyword. Yeah, that's understood.
Aha. Because normally huge can't be pulled and pushed about.
That's right. Aphrodite has cleave, even though he's got a rapier.
We still have the issue of Brave Star being a constant ability with a cost on it.
Yeah, I've put my notes in on that. We're changing it to an attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking that had been.
Okay.
Cool.
He's not a leader, but he's got command. Because he's
that's because he failed to lead. Remember, he was the inspiration to try and get people to back the project quicker on Kickstarter, and it kind of failed and didn't work as well. So then his sister came and tried the next day. So he's the failed leader who can impress a few small people a little bit, but not massively all the time.
So it's got a real life effect upon his character.
Yeah.
I don't think I changed anything in the back, although it is helped me instead of with me. It's helped me.
That changes.
Yeah, so he's just like, come help me.
We're in 6, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Alicia, his sister. So she's got leap aside. Alicia may shift 1 after damaged away from after damaged. That's not worded properly.
And then one of the most powerful abilities in the game, possibly.
After being damaged. Alicia may shift 1 after being damaged away from the attacker and reduced damage by 1 to a minimum of 1. Okay, so you can't reduce a 1 down to a 0.
No.
But is that obvious?
Yeah, she's still got hit.
No, I mean to our listeners, is it obvious that from the wording of it, reduce damage by 1 to a minimum of 1? Minimum of 1 damage? Sven to the rescue. 100% clear. Cool. Copycat. After a unit uses an ability, Alicia may copy that ability. X is the copied ability cost. So it always costs like 1.
She literally pays 1 more than they did.
Yep. Token gesture. Once per game, Alicia can gift any small or medium item under 100 gold cost to an adjacent unit. Part of this is because in the campaign, that's what she does. So we put on the card as an extra bonus. Okay. Everything else is pretty obvious, I think. Scrolly, scroll. Don't think there's any change to the leap on the side. Same.
Okay, why is it saying check there on the back?
Alicia check.
Hmm.
Yeah, we just checked her, right?
Okay.
Maybe there's something in the. Is token gesture is an action. It's a once per game. Maybe it's something to do with that.
Oh. You know what's going to happen, don't you?
No, I don't.
She's going to get wounded, and someone's going to go, well, hey, I used the token gesture on the front of the card. Now this is a separate instance of it because I don't have a token or anything to track. But I did it on the front, so now I can do it again from the back as a separate instance. No, it's the same thing. It's just if you haven't done it already, it's still there.
Yeah, because you might choose to do it later.
Also, we don't necessarily have a method of tracking once per game abilities at the moment yet.
No. Yeah, I guess there needs to be a thing where a person just knows.
I mean, it should be pretty obvious to everyone at the table, really.
Yeah. Your opponent's going to keep track of it. Your opponent's going to go, no, you already did that. You gave this guy a healing potion. No, healing potions are more expensive than 100 gold, so it'd be like a dagger or a short sword or a small shield or something. Marietta. Martyr's sacrifice. Remove all Banes from a friendly unit within range and sight. Marietta gains the Bane. And, oh dear, burden of sins. She gains accuracy 1 for each Bane.
I was literally talking about reasons why you might want to remove Banes from enemies, because they might gain benefits from them.
Your enemy is Marietta. Now, the check on this, I wanted to make sure...
There's no range listed for Martyr's sacrifice.
Not just that, but also it's a non-costed, non-actioned, do it as many times as you want.
So make it an action, or a non-action with a cost.
The only thing that stops this from going overpowered is there's limits of how many Banes.
And how badly the Banes will mess her up.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you've got a Bane for attack, a Bane for defense, a Bane for move, a Bane for ranged attack. There isn't a Bane on the punch effect because it's such a small thing it doesn't matter. So that there's going to be a maximum of 4 Banes you could possibly gain anyway, and you can't have more than 1 Bane.
True.
So the upper limit for the accuracy is 4. So I'm not. No,
right.
It is wet range and
Martyr's sacrifice has an issue.
Okay.
What happens if Marietta cannot receive the Banes? Do they then stay on the original target, or are they just lost and removed completely? And as in, does she only gain them if she's got space to gain them?
No, there's a full stop after that first part. There's a full stop right there. So the first action is remove all Banes from the friendly unit within range and sight. Boom. Done. Second, Marietta gains those Banes. Now, whether she can gain those Banes or not
Yeah.
she gains those Banes, right?
Mm.
Then the Banes rule triggers. If you have more than one of the same Bane, discard it.
Yep.
So we're down to a maximum of 4 Banes. And she always has this. She gains accuracy 1 for each Bane.
So the issue of it being swift is she could essentially remove all of the Banes from a whole load of people around her and not gain that many herself because of removing the same ones from multiple people. So you might want to give her a limit of once per activation on that.
Once per activation?
Yeah, like she can only do it once on her turn.
Still have to be within range inside of her, so it's not like
and
she's
what's the range?
doing it across the board.
Right? Seriously though, if she were to do that to like 4 people, and 2 or 3 of them have the same Bane, then she's removing more than she's receiving, and possibly removing a lot. So you'd either want to put like a fate cost on it, or I'd make it a once per activation limit to help balance it a bit myself.
So okay, in the case that she could theoretically do it more than once effectively, she would have to trigger it at the start of her action, make a move to a space where other units are, and trigger it a second time. And so because she's done a move, she loses the ability to trigger.
But it's swift, which doesn't take an action.
Yeah, but it's still. So you're thinking like, okay, let's say for example, the enemy managed somehow to put a break attack on 6 targets, 3 over here and 3 over there, and Marietta sucks up 3 from here, moves, sucks up 3 from there, but
and only gains 1 herself.
She only gains 1 Bane, but she manages to remove those Banes from everybody else, and so you think that's unfair?
It is a massive purification. It feels like she shouldn't remove any unless she can receive them, or unless she can receive at least 1 of them. But it also feels like she shouldn't remove Banes from 6 different people in the same activation.
Yeah, okay. I can see that it might be a little bit overpowered. So let's follow the flow of her. If it's an action, she does the action of this Smarter Sacrifice. She gets the accuracy as a constant, so that's no effect. She still has a second hero action to trigger focus, and then she triggers Demon Slayer as her attack.
Yeah.
So she has, in the perfect circumstances, she's
probably not going to get more than 2 when she does it, to be honest.
Yeah. So she's probably going to get 2 accuracy. She already has 2 accuracy. And so she now has 4 accuracy, deadly 3, making that base 4 a 12. But remember, she's Demon Slayer, so the whole
+1 deadly if a demon. So deadly 4.
So she now brings that up to a 16 base attack for a cost of 3 fate.
Yep. And 3 fate is a lot. Unless you're playing against Noadin, in which case they laugh at your 3 fate and they're like, let's get more on the board.
Okay, how about this then? We increase the Demon Slayer cost to 4 to reduce the chance that that's going to happen in the first or second round.
I don't think Demon Slayer is a problem. I think unlimited Martyr's Sacrifice is potentially a problem because it's removing far more than she'll gain if abused.
Yeah, okay. So just the action. Okay, Martyr's Sacrifice as an action.
I'd just give it the same once per activation limit that the Rose's Fawns have.
Well, that's what the action does, right? You can only do it once.
Oh, good point. Yeah, because you're changing it from a swift to an action. Oh yeah, that's fine then. Yeah. In that case, I'd just add a full stop after the word Banes so that it finishes the sentence.
Good point. Yeah, the grammar missing.
I'm wheezing. I'd better step away for a moment.
Full stop. Okay. I think the opposite side is missing an image, that's all. Okay. Chrysler's the undone one that we're going to do for the Discordians. Balgan stepped away for a minute, so... Okay, guys. So the idea was we left one of these free so we could have you guys think about or come up with some great ideas. So Chrysler's going to be using the new symbol, which is down here, called Battle Cry. Battle Cry means that everybody who has similar keywords, Guardian or Leader or Knight or Rose, can trigger this, and they will gain the boost token to their unit, or they gain the Battle Cry token that they can change into a boost token when they need to, so they can hang on to it for a while. They're kind of empowered. They feel good about the idea. Chrysler also has the skill Gather to Me. All units within line of sight and range may move 1 towards Chrysler. At the end of her activation, give guard tokens to all Rose units within 2. So the idea being, okay, they're out at a range of 3, they can move in to a range of 2 and gain the guard token. Guard tokens allow people to give defense bonuses to other people. The idea is that she wants to form a unit. She gathers everyone to her. Then she'll do a battle cry so that everyone within 2 now has the bonus token on top of that guard token. So she's all about this phalanx.
Oh, I see the battle cry icon on her card.
Yes. So she's about phalanx, making a phalanx unit, pulling them in tight, making a phalanx unit. And
we really need to sort out her other 2 abilities.
yeah, so I was just mentioning up to the Discord group that they can excuse me, they can do the other 2 skills for her.
Sure. So she's supposed to be a guardian who cares very much about the Rose Knights, thinks of Restoria as her sister or daughter. Restoria's mother sacrificed her life so that Restoria could live. And so Restoria and Chrysler have formed a strong bond.
True leader character. Yeah, because she's Guardian, Leader, Knight, Rose, skills who relate. Yeah. I'm thinking she's more like a stand on the battlefield and make everybody do stuff character.
I'm thinking she's like Constance Blaze from War Machine.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
I know you don't, but...
I don't know. I don't think these are her stats. I think this is.
I think those may be placeholder stats. Yeah. No. Defense 5, armor 2. Look at it. She's in plate armor over shield. That's all wrong. Yeah. No wonder she's got the big F to be fixed.
Yeah, it needs a fix. This is an untouched
so what Connie does is essentially, for 1 turn, when all her allies die, every one of her allies that dies gives her like a token, and then on her turn she's like, spend all those tokens to do amazing things. You know, she sees them dying and then gives this massive outpouring of power and ability use and protection that protects the remaining troopers around her. So it's... But of course this is a completely different character, so... Ooh. No, that would be a bad idea.
What?
She's already got Battle Cry, which makes her enough like a Noadin. I was like, maybe she should get Shael's ability, like whenever a Rose Knight dies near her, she... So rather than an ally, just be like, whenever a Rose character dies, she channels. I was like, but she doesn't have channel. Which is probably a good idea. And what would she do with it all anyway? Okay, here's a stupid idea, right? She has a guard and shield, right? So, and she's got a long polearm. How about, because usually guard tokens can be used by anyone adjacent to the person with the guard token. How about her guard extends to her whole weapon reach as a passive ability, so that, you know, allies within 2 squares of her, or maybe even 3 squares of her, gain the benefit of her guard tokens instead of needing to be adjacent to her.
Something crashed.
Because that way she'd have like an AoE guard bubble. That might be highly beneficial for her allies. And we're not needing to give away the thing the shield guards do, where they give their shield token to someone next to them, and we've given her something unique and different, but nobody else has.
Yeah.
It also might be unique because it's worthless, and other ideas are much better and will be found. Ah, I see what you've done there.
I'm going to put it into the chat so people can see it. Alright, I'll leave that up to the Discord group.
Yep, we'll see what they come up with, and
then I'll finish her
on
up
to others, because there's plenty on the page.
She's the last one. Everything else
is
just checking grammar.
Oh, are we going to be skipping over the... Oh, we got Nettie. Yeah.
Nettie.
His third ability may need a rename.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yes. Make an attack where 4s and 5s are removed and cause daze instead of adding to the attack roll. So, yeah, I don't see any problem with that. Although I think that should be the attack symbol. Make it an attack.
Yes. Attack symbol is fine, yes.
Yep. A good death, attack a dazed character with deadly 2, then break attack self, break defense self.
We need to make it clear that he can use a good death after the operative. Because... Oh, he can, because it's a reaction.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to make it clear, because that's 2 attacks in the same activation, potentially.
Yeah, but the point is that the first one is very reduced.
Oh, no, I'm aware of that. It's just that because they both have the word attack in bold in them, people are going to see that and remember the... Oh, no, we got the cards trump the rules rule anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't cause a daze attack, then this is over expensive. You've done little to no damage, and you've paid 2 for it. That's the cost. And a good death is a reaction attack. You're attacking the dazed character with deadly 2, then break self and break defense self, because you put yourself in a dangerous position. So it's a 1-2 situation.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's not going to pull off every time. Statistically, because your 4s and 5s may not roll, you may have spent your 2 and got no benefit from it whatsoever.
He may have focused before performing the operative for advantage for 4s and 5s. But that's only one advantage, right?
Yeah.
And third ability needs a rename.
Yeah, Aha Gotcha needs a rename. Okay, I'll put that up for discussion.
Honouring something. I keep wanting to call it There You Are, but that's not quite right either. Because that's still like a quote that would be spoken.
Yeah.
Although it's quite rare that the target is not in line of sight. So if target is not in line of sight, shift 3, attack with -1 and deadly 2. So it's if he can't see them, so like the hiding behind a big thing, then shifting 3 still needs to get him to reach them. So it's...
Yeah, exactly.
But if it's a 2x2 and he can't see them, he's probably going to have to go 4 squares just to go around it. Can shift be diagonal?
I don't...
Because if it can't be, he's not likely to get round to actually reach something that he couldn't previously see.
Yes, diagonal.
Okay, so shift can be diagonal. Okay, so he can cut corners to get round big things then. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, again, the cost of you've got to find that your target is you've got no target in sight.
We can't call it sense weakness, can we? Because I think Charlotte has an ability with a very similar name.
Yeah.
Or is it expose weakness, which she does it? Sense prey.
Again, I left it up to the... I put it into the Discord chat to say, okay, here's another name change that we can go for.
Okay, Sigismund is not part of this campaign. He's for a future campaign.
Yeah, so
has extreme placeholder stats. Ignore all the numbers. Same with Cerise, Lily, and Patricia, and Lily and Patricia, which is separate.
Yeah.
Samantha also not part of this campaign, and we're on to the Kelpies. Hooray! FF. Well, obviously that ability needs a name.
Well, also the...
Oh!
I don't think this is correct.
No, it's just got one of Goron's abilities there with... Yeah.
So I typically... I thought because these polymorphs would be fun for everybody, I thought that I'd let everybody come up with the skills for them. So we thought, okay, and partly this one's open. If people aren't aware, there is a guy in the King of Average channel called Kelpie who sponsors lots of games as long as they've got a Kelpie in it or are willing to add a Kelpie to the game. So we added the Kelpie to the game as a polymorph, and it, not just that. I mean, the Kelpie is an Australian dog, and Limbo is an Australian company, so... having the Kelpie dog is also a nice, fun little thing to do. So we've got that there. If anyone can think of a skill and what the skill title would be, or one or the other, and you'd like to submit it, we're very open for the idea. Otherwise, I've got my own ideas for this. I've got my notes for this, but I'd like other people to have a bit of a say.
Surely someone out there can come up with a better skill name than Fair Dingo Cobber.
Dingo got my baby. That's an old meme. So we've got the Kelpie, the Frog Prince, same thing. Yep. Noble Bear, same thing, and the sheep.
I remember the Noble Bear is a bear of very little brain and very little stature.
Yeah. I'll put this in. 4 polymorph characters.
Sheep has against all odds as a placeholder.
Yeah. As a placeholder.
Like, take that, you.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Okay. Head on to the Angels. Elidoreth. Lioness's Roar. Boost all, break, attack target.
All enemy characters within 3. Oh, that's pretty potent, yeah.
It was a range of 3 and it costs 3.
Yeah, it's not a massive range. Yeah, it's very localized.
Okay.
It's just very potent within that small location.
It just boosts her in such a way that she's ready to make a massive attack straight afterwards.
No, I'd keep it pounce, not punch. Because she's leaping in there and landing with a big boomph, you know.
So, yeah, okay. Yeah, good point.
And then unstoppable. Eladaria ignores all effects which reduce or prevent her movement and cannot be moved by opposing effects. It's like, no, she will go where she wants, she will do what she wants, and nothing's going to stop her or make her go somewhere else.
Yeah. All good. Sephiria, blessed by the heavens.
Yeah, Sephiria is basically another duelist character, bizarrely, but more heavily armoured.
Yeah.
Which isn't saying much when you see the artwork.
When she's attacked, the attacking character cannot use keywords during this attack. Didn't we come up with a keyword that does this?
No, we came up with one. We came up with bypass, which is rather the opposite. It's when you are attacking, you get through a load of stuff. But we don't have a defensive version yet.
That's fine. We'll leave it for then. Divine Decree: command an angel or holy character, regardless of rank. You may spend 2 to assign that character a shield token. If you have 1.
Oh, when the angel lords come in, that's going to be really powerful.
Yes. The whole point of that one. And Radiant Strike after Sephiria's attack, resolve daze the defender.
That's not just critical daze. That's just, even if she does no damage, you are dazed.
Yep.
That is sunlight in your eyes.
Exactly.
Bedazzled and confused and stunned.
Yep.
Bedazzled, not bedazzled. We're not going there.
Now, there was a little bit of discussion. I don't know whether we finished that discussion or whether if anyone in the chat wants to have the idea that should angels have a damage side?
Oh.
Like, humans bleed. We lose an amount of ourselves, which reduces our abilities. And so other creatures who are similar, they use some of their life force is used up and they slow down. Does an angel really have that effect? They're kind of otherworldly beings. They kind of want to have this one little thing where none of the angels actually have a damage side. They just have the front side. And
this may apply to some demons as well.
Yes, it also, certain high level, they don't bleed, they lose their wings. Oh, yeah, but that stops them from being angels then. So, I mean, that would be a massive difference. And probably we should put that to Vincent and say, hang on, if angels can lose their wings, can we have models where they have lost their wings and they're now human characters, and then they would have a damaged side, and they're not used to being damaged because they never could be damaged before, and as a result, their damage
new
side
keyword
is really
reckless.
good.
You think you're invulnerable, but you're not.
Yeah. Anyway, the thought here is, if we are going to have a non-damaged side angel in the future, because the angel campaign, I believe, is the next one that Vincent wants to release, then should we have this once-off set of cards, fallen angel cards, where they have their fallen side on their cards already?
Nefta might have something on her wounded side that's different. I'd like to have a look at that when we get to her.
I think Esther does as well.
Esther, not McVeigh. Esther has fun abilities.
2 small flying naked bottoms, or a 3 break attack. Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
Or a 2. Undead and demons take 1 direct damage at the end of the round. Protects the weak. Or a 2. +1 armor to all friendly troops. And distracting cherubs, small flying naked bottoms, or a 3 break attack. So it just has lots of auras. Man, I've been talking so much I've got a cough. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Nefta, on the other hand, completely different. This is the most interesting, guys. This is the most interesting thing that Valgan's come up with and we've added to it. So Nefta basically just says, you know what? I'm going to take this miniature off the board, and I'm going to take your miniature off the board too, because like a meta breaking.
She just grabs them, wraps them up in her chains, and flies up off the board, and they're both gone.
That's it. Now, here's the thing. Because a game is about VP, in the end of the game, it's about VP. You're taking 11 potential VP off the board that your opponent can get. You're reducing that after you've possibly done a decent amount of damage to somebody on the table. You've smacked them around a bit, done a bit of damage to them, and then just go, you know what? You've given me a bit of damage. I'm not going to stay on the board. My 11 VP disappears with me. And instead of taking off a demon that has lots of VP, you take off a crappy little troop.
Yeah, it's no victory points for either player. You know, it's like, no, just gone.
Yeah. This cough is getting worse. This isn't good. So having identified a demon on a list leaves the plane of existence with X is the rank cost. Both Nefta and the adjacent demon are taken off the board. So adjacent, she has to be standing next to them. But she does have flight, and she does have a movement of 3. That seems weak for a flight character for some reason.
Yeah.
His damage is. Oh no, that's the damage side. We increased the damage side because Morton would fly away.
Mm-hmm.
Swirling chains, aura of 3. Sorry, an aura of 2. 3 dice damage to anyone nearby as the chains are swirling around, damaging everybody. Damage to anyone.
It's not really an aura if it's an action.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yep. Okay, in my notes, I need to change that. Nefta. Whirling chain is constant.
No.
What?
Just realised what I was about to say and how stupid it was. I was about to suggest that mere mortals become target Aslan or Angel unit, and was like, oh, wait a minute.
No. I don't.
So target Aslan unit recovers X and is dazed, where X is the amount of fate crystals you paid for the ability. And to be clear, rank cost for your coming with me is it's like 1 for troops, 2 for hero, 3 for a lord.
Yeah. That is listed in the rulebook. It says.
Yeah, no, it's listed in the rulebook. It's just worth reminding because rank is not something players normally need to remember very often during play.
No, that's true. Yeah. Right.
So if you see Nefta coming, don't give her player a load of focus tokens, or she might be going off the board very soon.
Here's the thing about Nefta. If she has an aura 2, 3 dice of damage, why has she got an attack at all?
True.
3 dice of damage is more powerful than an attack of 4.
Well, they're not dice of direct damage. They're just dice of damage, right?
I'll just double check. Dice of damage.
Do we still have dice of direct damage as well, or not? Because there used to be a difference. I think one ignores defense, one ignores armor. Yes, direct dice of damage.
The direct dice ignores armor.
So yeah, dice of
damage
damage ignore defense. Is it ignore defense? Okay, no. So dice of direct damage are the ones that ignore armor. Dice of damage, both defense and armor are factored in.
Yeah.
So then, free dice of damage is not as bad.
Not as powerful as
it's just a free die attack instead. So basically, it's an AOE attack with free attack instead of her 4 attack for a single target.
Yeah, good point. So
that's why she has it as an ability. Got it.
That's the problem. Then that's got to cut out the cost involved.
Yeah.
What's required. So I don't know why it didn't pop up there. I'll check on that. All right.
Glad we found it.
All right. Ardat. Declare unrighteous. After Ardat is deployed, or an enemy character with guilt token place a guilt token onto the enemy character. Guilt tokens didn't get made in version 1.0, and we don't have an icon for this in 1.5.
The original 1.0 card said like place an objective token on the target and then, but it still wasn't. We've tidied up the wording, but haven't made it clear that the guilt token does not exist.
Yeah, so I want to change out this guilt token altogether and make it a different token. We can use the poison token, or we could use one of the other tokens.
Well, the thing is, if we use something like any token that any other ability uses, like a Hunter's Mark target token, you need to be able to distinguish it from all the others, because the one that she's placed remains in play and keeps getting shifted to new targets.
Yeah.
Man, I'd almost say put a...
Okay, I'm going to have to leave notes. Maybe we've got time to send a token request to the artist.
Fake crystal. But yeah, that would be handy. Also, bizarrely...
This is a 1.0 card, and that's why we hadn't looked at it for quite some time.
Bizarrely, in 1.0, she's a mercenary.
Yeah, but there's no
angels the other...
Yeah, there's no angels in the other ones. Yeah. Alright, done. So this is why we have to go back and look at these old cards.
Actually, in 1.0, she's the only holy character available to anyone apart from Aslan. So it's the only way that demons can get hold of the polymorph spells, bizarrely.
Yeah. Well, we do have the new...
Oh, I know we got new stuff, yeah.
Alright, so when Ardat declares an attack against a character with the guilt token, boost attack and boost defense, and meteoric impacts move 3 and attack, you gain advantage for this attack. Pierce 1, hits, cause, daze, and wounds. So meteoric is obviously... Meteoric is an attack. Okay, so I'll just tweak word that. Now, there's a slight difference. Meteoric impact is that Ardat flies up into the sky and slams into the ground, making this attack. So what we did was, for the new cards, we added Final Fall. Flight, move 4, and attack +1. You gain advantage 2 for this Pierce 2, hits, cause, daze, and wound, and Ardat falls at the end of the round. So it's a suicide attack.
So we do have a wounded side on an angel with a significant difference.
Yeah, and so... that's kind of maybe in this zone of, should angels, fearing that they have been wounded and don't like it, all have this ability to immolate themselves or destroy themselves as a finishing move? What the? Defense jumped up to 6. I think there's a flaw there. Oh, okay. That's defense.
That is quite a jump of 4 points of defence.
Yeah, I think some of these damaged sides have got a glitch in the code. I've spotted that twice now where the defence has gone up a bit.
That will need to be looked into.
Yeah. Okay, it's in my notes. Okay, we're into... Oh, there's some flaws in this girl. Length of things. Okay, that's a lord, so that's for different reasons. We're not going to look at them today because they're being done...
Their cards are done differently.
Next time. Okay, Ulva. Battle Cry. All shield maidens and all wolves within 10 gain shield and boost defense.
Her artwork doesn't fit on the card at the moment.
Oh, okay. What happened there?
So yeah, shield and boost defense is pretty good. Yep. Here we go.
There's a okay. Ulva picture error. Okay, cool. All shield maidens wolves. Okay, gain defense. All units behind Ulva on the battlefield, not her direction facing.
Yeah, you're going to need to define for me what behind means there, because obviously facing is an issue. We know which way she's facing.
Yeah,
and that
not
could be a lot.
direction facing. Oh, so it's not understood that from the edge of the battlefield that your player starts?
Not very clearly.
No, okay, cool.
Okay,
so this needs a wording change.
Mm.
Right, so how do we word this to say all units which are between Ulva and the starting edge of the board?
Yeah.
Yeah? Put that in my notes.
All friendly units.
All friendly units.
Don't give it to enemies.
Yeah. All friendly units between Ulva and the starting edge and the Noadin starting edge.
Yeah.
Of the board. Gain +1 move. Or gain 1 move. Mounted blow. A mighty blow from a mounted position. Attack. Reach 2. Accuracy 2. Peace 2. Now, this isn't +2. So here's the thing.
So why list the accuracy 2 when she already has it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was this... Because it has a cost of 2.
Mm-hmm.
Pierce 2, accuracy 2, reach 2. The only advantage gained here really is reach 2 and 1 pierce.
Yeah.
So do I just... So that doesn't make sense. The 2 cost here is not expensive enough for a +2, +2, +2.
You could change it to accuracy 3.
Okay, so she has a 2, becomes a 3. That's 1 point. 1 point. So that's a 0.75. That's a 0.75. Reach is 3.5 points. So that's 5 points in total. Mounted blow action. Action costs 1 point. 2 more points there. It's off by 3 points anyway. The reach is most of the bonus here.
You could drop the accuracy.
Oh, no, she already has reach 2. She already has reach 2.
Oh.
So
why?
That's
okay.
why. That's why. So really it should just be +1 P, and then it's underspent.
Yeah, at that point, you didn't need to give it deadly 2 to even make it worth the ability. Which could actually make sense from the saddle.
Okay. Ulva, mounted blow, -1 attack, deadly 2, +1 pierce.
Mm-hmm.
That'll work. Okay. And then I'll just reduce it slightly for the wounded side.
Yeah. It's like -2 attack. Actually, yes, -2 attack, keep the deadly, and lose for +1 pierce on the wounded side.
Yeah.
Because her attack's gone up on the wounded side anyway.
Yeah.
So it maintains a consistent attack value at that point.
Yep. Alright, cool. Odin. There's a length
Odun.
to something.
Yeah, his third ability needs to be done.
There's a something length in something else. Might have been these were too big before, and that's why it triggered
It's
the length.
probably the fact that Barrel Throw has Berserkers of Blood placeholder text.
No, well that's the FF there, but this len is from somewhere else. Something has triggered this len, and I think it's the length of one of these. So I think this length used to be too long before when it was in a different position. I'll check on that one, but that seems fine.
Oh, and because he's supposed to have something that is missing. He's got Recover 1, which is worth, if it's on the bottom of the card, it happens at the start of his activation every turn, as opposed to being an activated ability. So he's literally regenerating because of his giant blood.
Yeah.
Because he's constantly growing back.
We need to point that out.
Against
all odds. Where did we get that? That sounds like something we've already seen.
Oh, that's blatantly from Goron, but it's also because he likes fighting lots of people.
Okay.
But Goron gets accuracy 2 for each enemy, so it's a variant.
Yeah, but this guy also has reach of 1. So
yeah, that's why it's reduced, because of how many people he can threaten.
Yep. Slayer of Monsters, attack, deadly 3 if the Bane... That's similar to... I don't know, I'm a bit uncomfortable now that I've looked at this saying we've just copied 2 pre-existing characters' skills for this guy.
We may need to adjust that.
Yeah, I don't... Odin needs a reworking.
Against All Odds could probably be completely replaced with something else.
Is Odin a slayer of monsters, though? I don't feel that his character is a monster slayer.
Well,
what's the storyline of Odin?
So far, he's smashed a meteorite to bits with his hammer to prove that he could do it.
Okay.
He brought Shael back from the northern land across the oceans as part of a exchange of prisoners for diplomatic reasons to end a war.
Yeah.
So he brought her back as an escort. So he likes to show his strength, and the people like to send him to do things, important things, to show, look, we're sending this big strong guy to do it, so you better take us seriously.
Yep.
He's also part of the Elk clan, right, which is about standing tall and proud, individual strength rather than the sort of group strength or brute strength of a bear. It's sort of a bit of honor, a bit of dignity. But
do we want him to use his horns?
But also he has hallucinations. Remember, he hallucinates the Valkyrie, who may or may not be real, and he doesn't know if she exists or not, and so he behaves erratically as if sometimes she's real and sometimes she isn't, which then gets confusing when we get to Helena, who is sort of training to become a Valkyrie. And so he doesn't know if she exists half the time.
We don't have a keyword. I'm going to scroll down to Helena.
I'm pretty sure we don't have a Valkyrie keyword either.
No. Yeah, so, but we do have space for a keyword.
Oh, Valkyrie is Orlog. That makes sense.
Sorry?
Valkyrie is Orlog. That made total sense.
Oh, Valkyrie is Orlog?
Yeah.
Well, you know how we've got Tiger and we've got Rose?
We got space to put a Valkyrie keyword, because there may be more in future, yeah.
So we could have Valkyrie, and then we can up this... Sorry, not Ulfnir.
Then Odin. We could give Odin an ability that relates to Valkyries instead of against all odds. Like, if he's if he's near a Valkyrie, he gets emboldened and does something braver or more effectively.
Okay, so add Valkyrie to Shial and
Not to Shael.
Helena.
Helena, yes.
Oh, who was the other one you mentioned?
Nobody yet, although possibly Vecca in the future.
Well, it doesn't make sense to be including it unless we got at least 2. Can we consider Shield Maidens to be Valkyries? Valkyries in training?
Ooh, that's a bit iffy.
Okay. Just trying to think of another reason that he'd be triggered.
But maybe not. I'm not sure on them. I have to think on that a little.
This is the length breaker.
Days break all wound. Yeah,
this is the length breaker.
Got it.
So that's why that length
keyword is... how about we take some of those attack keywords out and put them into a special attack that he does as one of his abilities?
Yeah, yep, okay.
Because that way we'll fit more things on the card. Okay, that's the length.
I think Odin slipped through the cracks and didn't get finished properly.
It's because the critical hit keywords aren't showing on the healthy side of the cards for a number of characters that it didn't become immediately obvious until we got down to the wounded side.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
So against all odds, could be replaced.
I've left notes that he's unfinished and he needs to be finished. So let's, for the moment, leave that because he needs to complete reworking. Ulfnir, Berserker. Ulfnir gains advantage when attacking is bloodied. That's not his. That's the Berserker bonus. But it makes sense for him, though.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, that's what Berserker does as a skill. Blood Moon Axeblade. Ulfnir's also not finished. No, this right, because Ulfnir's the transformation guy, so we didn't go through and finish him. I'm going to skip past Ulfnir because we have to go through why he transforms, how he transforms. And we also need to look at the transformation of Henril into Henril's version of transformation and look at the transformation rules. So I think we have to skip him for the moment.
There's no transformation for Henril.
Henril turns into...
Nope.
And Henril?
No, Demon Henril is a false mockery of what he is. It's an imitation. It's the substitute that Valrose created to try, because of her affection for him, she's created this kind of monstrous version that to kind of stand in for him when he's not around.
Okay.
We have Shael.
Does that mean both of them can be on the board at the same time?
It does mean they can both be on the board at the same time, and I believe there was going to be an ability on Demon Henril's card that would explicitly trigger if they were both on the board at the same time.
Okay, yeah.
And we probably need to do a Demon Henril card.
Yeah, we
put it on the list.
And forgot that one. Bad me. Where's the chat gone? There we go. Okay, so Shial. Rose's Bloom. Shial casts heal on 1 unit, recover 1 on self, and recover 2 on a second unit.
We need to define the heal.
Heal is remove wound.
Yeah, again, that needs to... Because healing is so many points, and there's no points listed after it, we just need to clarify exactly what that word heal means, otherwise players might not understand what you mean by it.
Alright, I will leave a note for that. Heal.
So you're thinking this, for 2 fate crystals, should fully heal 1 unit, recover 1 on herself, and then recover 2 on a second target unit. There's also no range listed for it.
Yes, it will.
I believe you wanted to put in the rulebook that the range on the left-hand side should be explicitly used for abilities with a range if they don't state otherwise, such as Rose's Bloom.
Yeah, speed is the default range when there is not
Okay, that is something you need to make clear in the rulebook.
Yeah, it is listed in the rulebook that says speed is the default range on when range is not listed as a separate number.
So Rose's Thorns.
Rose's Thorns, if Shyle is damaged, the attacker takes 1 direct damage. And Fate of the Fallen, if a friendly unit falls within 6 channel. So you can get a little bit of magic back and use it to trigger Rose's Bloom. This is the whole point of that. Nothing different as far as I remember on the back side of the card. Although I wouldn't mind increasing Rose's Thorns when she's...
What, to 2 damage?
Instead of direct damage, taking dice of damage. So potentiality to take more damage.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I mean, the problem is, though, it doesn't always... Oh, I can put in here, has a minimum of 1.
Yeah, you could make Rose's Thorns more potent on the back. That's interesting.
Yep. Damaged description. If Shale is damaged, the attacker takes 2 dice of damage with a minimum of 1. Okay. As we've only got a few cards left, but here's the thing: it's now 3 minutes to 9.
Well, we got all the demon cards as well, but yeah.
Oh yeah, we got the demon cards to go. So we'll split this up. We'll do some more of this next weekend.
Okay.
Because I think 3 hours is a bit much. I will put all those changes in my notes in. I'll go through the cards in advance and see if I can prefix some stuff so that we don't have as much to do. Thank you, everybody that was on the channel for today. It was great having some extra notes, some extra ideas. As we've said in the rules discussion channel, if you come up with some names for stuff, drop them in there. I'm not sure once this chat closes, we'll get to keep all this chat that's happened in here.
I don't think we will. I think it just stays for the duration of the call.
Yeah. So, Balgan, I'll leave the channel open. I need to jump up for a few minutes. I'll leave the channel open if you can copy paste all of the stuff from that you've said into the 1.5 rules discussion channel, so it's not lost.
All right, I'll look into that.
Okay, cool. And I'll
stop recording now. Though. Thanks everyone for stopping by.
Thanks again.
And see you all next time.